Hello everyone, this is Red Mark, and I'm gonna do my first kind of tutorial or explaining some of the techniques that I use for my drawings. After a couple people asked, for tips, and do my best to explain kind of or simplify how I approach my drawings. Now today I'm gonna do a drawing of this lady. Some of you might recognize. Bam! The beautiful Lupita Nyong'o or Nyong'o. So first I try to start by basically getting the overall shape of the face. But a little trick that I use sometimes is for to make sure I stay within proportion is that I use a little measuring trick. And what I do, I usually take a piece of paper like this, and I keep one for my vertical, my horizontal line, and one for vertical. And I kind of like measure the top of the head to the bottom, and then I might move across to get measurements for where the eyes are, nose, something like that. Just a little trick to kind of keep your proportions honest. So that is something that really helps me out when I feel like I try not to use it as much as possible, because the goal is to get to a point where you could just see something and draw it the way it is. But if I feel like something is just out of proportion, I try to use that paper to kind of help me gauge where all my different lines are. So I just go on the drawing and put like a dot and just do for the width of the head and stuff like that. And just do. So this is kind of like across the eyes. This is the width. I put a mark here and a mark here, and I know that's my size. And then I do this, and then I get a separate piece of paper for the top, for the vertical plane, and I do the same thing. I don't want to confuse the papers because I want to keep this outside line. I know that's my exterior line. So if I want to draw where the eyes are coming in from there, I just put my dots and then I relay them to my drawing. So I'm gonna go probably into a time lapse now and kind of just go through that process, trying to make this video as short as possible. All right. Alright, now you might notice that I'm going over certain areas with a line that it's not necessarily part of the face or around the eye or anything, but it's just for me to indicate where certain shadows are going to be. So this is like a dark shadow is going to come here, a kind of mid-grade shadow is going to come here, or shading, and then on top of here is kind of like a highlighted area. Then you have another mid. That's just to help me for going into my second step or stage, which is just laying down values with my charcoal or charcoal pencils, which these guys. These are General's charcoal pencils. This is a 2B, I think, yeah, 2B. 4B and 6B. I usually work with the 2B mostly, and in certain areas I go to 4B. I rarely ever use the 6B. That's why you can see. I don't know if you can see that. Use this one the most, just the shortest one. Second most, and barely ever use this one. And also, for more wider spaces, I have the same thing but in block. 6B, 4B, and 2B. So let me show you how that stage goes. Just basically like like the hair area. There's a lot of shadow, and I usually try to start from the left upper corner so that I avoid putting my hand where the charcoal is as much as possible. See, I really like this, that's so wide. I might go with the 4B because it's a little soft and it's helps distribute that color a little bit better. I'm just going to be going through, laying down my shape, excuse me, laying down my values and getting ready for the third step. All right. Guys, so pretty much have all our values down. So now we're going in for what I would consider like the final stage. That's where we breaking out all our tools, because we're trying to get our detail. We're trying to smudge and smooth and blend. So I have a paintbrush here, another paintbrush that kind of got grinded down, or I don't know if I bought them like this, but I had these a long time. So they're good for this because they're good for smudging. I have, this is like a paper smudge stick or a tortillon or something. I have a cotton swab. I have, of course, my charcoal. I have a couple graphite pencils. I have a 5B and a 7B here. And I have also some charcoal dust. This is from, shaving my pencils down. I kind of collect the dust in case like I need to just dip my paintbrush and get some shading going for some smoothness. All right, so I'm just gonna start smoothing, and again, it's much easier. At this point, you already have your value set, so it's just a matter of coming back and giving that blending feeling. Might have to come back through with some charcoal and darken certain areas that needs to be darkened, and just basically go through paying close attention. Of course, you have some wax paper because certain areas you might have to get your hand in steady and do some details and stuff. So you have your charcoal, your wax paper, so you don't get your hand all black and smudge all over the drawing and ruin the progress that you have already. All right, so I'm gonna go to warp speed now. Okay, well, you can see the immediately start seeing that texture coming through with the smudging. Really does the trick with those paintbrushes. And if there's certain areas on the skin that maybe you need to lighten up, you can use that kneadable eraser, but very, very, very lightly on a flat side, and remove that that area, lighten it up. And if you need to come back in and add a little bit more tone, you can use your brushes again. Another helpful trick is when you're looking at features of the face, try not to think of it as a nose or a mouth or an eye. Just think of it as a shape that you're trying to transfer, because sometimes your brain wants you to draw what you think an eye looks like, but it doesn't necessarily reflect what you're seeing. So just try to keep that in mind. So this little embroidery slash mesh on her dress was very tricky and technical when I was thinking about it, but kneadable eraser saved the day once again. Alright, so there you have it, guys. This is the finished product. I spent a lot of time in the eyes, of course, face. The lips usually give me a little bit of a, that's probably the more tricky part for me personally, is lips. But that's basically the process that I choose, that I use. I know some people, they tend to come from one side and just do all the details from the jump and just keep it across the board. Personally, this is what I prefer. So just a couple tips, if you have questions or comments, leave them in the comment section. I'm probably going to do this a little bit more often, maybe go into details on specific stuff. If you guys want me to talk about any specific area or thing, just leave it in the comment section, of course, and I'll see how soon or if and when I can address that. And also, as a reminder, I am going to be announcing the free portrait giveaway in the next 2 days. So you still have a chance tomorrow, between now and then, to go ahead, type subscribe in the comment section, and I'll be picking somebody to do a free portrait of and post on the on my YouTube channel for my subscribers. All right, thank you and goodbye till the next time.